Now here, turbocharged. Turbocharged, as I mentioned earlier, is trading between 80 and 107. Okay? But it's been trending between 44 and 107. It's just an accelerated move up. And then between -1 and 17 on the downside, where the market gets powerful beyond belief. See, this is where you got blown out trying to trade other oscillators. You kept shorting the divergence. You kept shorting every divergence, and the damn thing, pardon my Russian this time. I hope nobody's Russian here. Maybe there are a couple of French people. You just got blown out. And if you're a short player like I am, I kept, I handle it. I would get in, get right out. I wouldn't make money. I wouldn't lose money, but I'd get out. But there were days before I knew about turbo divergence, I'd have 7 shorts, and I'd make 2 points, and I'd be soaking wet. And but I'd still do it because I'm a short player. I didn't care whether the market was up, down, sideways. I was playing. And I finally, after a couple of years, figured out the differences between all the divergences and which ones I could play and which ones I couldn't, and hence the oscillator and everything that came together. It took about 7 or 8 years before everything really came together. Even though I've been using it for about 15 years, it took a long time to understand. Because again, I'm a one-man show. I do everything myself. All right? Now this is what, if you're looking on the far left-hand side, I'm going to try and get there before it comes up. See, on the far left-hand side, that is turbo. Look at that move. That's straight up the page. Notice the oscillator, basically in a very, very strong position. Okay? Then the rest of the day, it starts to spend between 44 and 107. And look at that. So you got almost a little leading divergence in the middle of the page there, where the market went to the high, tested the highs here at Fibonacci numbers. Yeah, but look at this. You didn't even get it down. But look what happened to the oscillator. The oscillator went from 107 here to 44 here. I don't think this is a 3-point correction of this whole thing, this whole move here. And look at it. Tells you to go long. Can you imagine that? Tells you to go long. This is about a 2-point, 3-point correction here. And look at the oscillator. Tells you to go long. And the market blows out the rest of the day. I mean, but you're buying every higher low. And you can take profits. This allows you to trade some of the most incredible trending days you'll ever want to see. This is what I do. I end up doing all the shorts. And now I'm able to get the longs. It's been a lot of fun learning, but, now I'm much better than I used to be. I'm still a better trader on the short side. I just have to become better on the long side. Little idiosyncrasies. I like the short side because the thing down is much faster. Okay, now here is another definition of turbo on the right-hand side with a strong day that just blows out. Okay, the market's been bottoming out, but look at this. The market's jammed at the opening of the day. Okay, right down here, jammed. Okay, price is up here at resistance. This is resistance, multi-day resistance, okay? Whatever. Market comes all the way down. The oscillator never breaks 44. Okay, start buying it. The market's holding, boom. Backs up again. Market gets jammed up here. You can sell some, but it lets you back in. It lets you back in here. And then we have something called the opening range breakout. Okay, now we're long. But look at this oscillator. Every time it gets back to 44, we now broke out. We're now in a little uptrend. And then look at this mama. Look at this mama go. In the past, I'd be short. I would lose money. Okay, honestly, I'd lose money doing this. But look at the oscillator. The oscillator never breaks a sweat. Never breaks a sweat. Okay? And then we have other ways to get on. We're going to drop down to the 1 minute, but we just put an 8-bar average right underneath this, and you'll see this thing hit an 8-bar average. See, it never comes close to the 20. These are little things you learn after you write the book and after you trade enough. You finally figure, because it's hard for me moving back between a 1 and 2 minute chart and the 5. So when I'm in the room, I just put an 8-bar on the 5 minute, and it does the same thing. Let me show you what I mean. This is what a 1 minute reentry looks like on that up move. See? The 1 minute trades the same way that it does on the 5. 107.44, 107.44, 107.44, all the way up the page. So you can buy every one of these pullbacks and re-enter. Just keep re-entering. Look at that. All this is above 44. All this is 44. See, you can take every single trade. If you want to trade your brains out for 3-4 points, every single move on a 30-point move, 20-point move, be my guest. I now recognize turbo. I close my eyes, hold my nose, and I just let it run. Or at least I try to. This is when you're trying to buy calls. Then you don't have that problem. But this is incredible. I don't know how stochastic or MAC, I don't even know how they get you in these moves, let alone keep you in these moves. Okay, I hope this is starting to make a little sense to you. It makes a lot of sense because I've only been doing it 15 years. Okay, now here's the downside. Next one coming up. Okay, this is what down looks like. See, we break support, take out the morning lows, and look at the acceleration down. I mean, I'll tell you, the average person grabs 3 points and never gets on the trade again. Never gets. Now, what happens is when you see these in hindsight, they're great. I can get 10 points on that trade. Try it, and you get blown out. Okay, and then you're destroyed. If you now know this is a breakdown, you now know you're in turbo mode, you just close your eyes, hold your nose, and let it work. You don't have to cover it. You're just looking to short. But look at that turbo on the lower right-hand side. That is incredible. That oscillator is just in turbo mode, driving. Don't even go near a long. Don't even cover. Just stay short. Okay, here's what the 2-minute, 1-minute chart looks like. Every time it goes back to 60, the mid-June 62, look at that, hit it. So if you missed the getting in when it fell apart, you had 2 or 3 other chances to get on board and stay on board. And then you get your last entry down there at -1, close out the transaction. Okay. Now, the last one on the divergences is reverse divergence. That's where the oscillator is extremely overbought, oversold, and the price is nowhere near the previous peak. Here's an example, perfect. We're overbought, lower high. See, overbought, lower high. And you just look at this, okay? There, just tells you, very simple concept. So we're not even back to the high, and yet the market is telling me I'm as overbought as I was at the high of the day. Not quite, it was jammed up there. But if it were overbought there. So it's telling me, okay, and then look what happens, just sell it. Okay? We're not experts on trading oscillators. Okay? We're experts on what we do. And what I've done is something for comparison purposes, and you can guess this as well as I. I'm not going to tell you I know exactly how to trade a stochastic, and I work with George for a long time. It's amazing how when you trade for a living and you're managing money and you're running the firm assets and you're running a hedge fund, you really want to learn. That's what I'm saying. This is my life, and you want to learn everything, and you get to know these people very, very well. You grew up with them. It's amazing. All these guys I grew up with, Wells Wilder, George, Fontenellis, not Fontenellis, oh God, who's that guy in Arizona? I can't remember some of the names, but Larry Williams, Joe DiNapoli. Anyway, let me go on and see what we have here. See, here's an example now of 3 oscillators on a chart, okay, in price action. The first one, now that you understand the oscillator, is the oscillator. The next one is a MAC, and the third is a stochastic. Now, I can see where I can sell at the high on the stochastic. I can see where I can sell numbers on the oscillator. I can see the crossover on the MACD. Okay? But you're picking trades, I don't know. I mean, I see the oscillator. I see the oscillator gets me in, a stochastic gets me in long. If you want to look down here, if I got a little crossover here, okay, gets me long here, and I look back, and that's right in here, and the thing, you get a sell signal over here, okay. I didn't make a hell of a lot of money, and I went through probably a big drawdown waiting for that to happen. But here, I just keep selling every rally on the oscillator, every rally. I mean, it just seems to me it's cleaner. Okay, and there are a number of trades in here you can look at. The oscillator generates more trades. But look at this. I mean, I can see all my cover spots, and I can see all my re-entry shorts. I don't know. Maybe I got to sell here. Maybe I got to buy here. Maybe I got to buy here. I see the crossover divergence. See, this is what I did with George. Did a lot of this crossovers, divergence type things, and that was a nice buy. Okay, but I'm already long with the same crossover. Okay, so I didn't really have to change much. Okay, but if I bought here on the stochastic, see, this is a turbo mode. This is terrible. The market is falling apart, and this is telling you every time to buy. This is what I mean about buying weakness as things falling apart. I know better. I'm looking to sell strength, and I'm looking. The market's making lower highs all the way down the page, and I'm getting my oscillator rallying back to the sell number every single rally. How the heck does an oscillator go to 62, and the market's making lower highs and lower lows all the way down the page? Trust me, trial and error, guy. Right number combinations. That's all it was. A lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of writing, et cetera, et cetera. Okay? So the oscillator can be used anywhere. We like liquid things. We like, where there's volume. You're not dealing with something that trades a tick here or there. By the way, I have to admit, I didn't find it helpful with the Russell. The Russell didn't have the kind of liquidity and had small cap stocks. I never saw a big market, even though it's the most efficient market to trade from a commission standpoint and a point value. I never could get the oscillator. I'll tell you up front. I never, ever could get the oscillator. And I gave up. Maybe it works now. I don't know. But I have to admit, it works with a ton of other things. And I'm pretty excited about it. Okay, still skeptical? Yeah, of course. Why not? Why not be skeptical? Okay, here's yesterday's chart. Okay, here's yesterday. These are charts I post every day, 8 times a day. The chart you're looking at is the final C chart. The A, B, and C are 5-minute S&P charts where I write on the day what's going on. Sort of a look back for the chat room. You can see if you came in late, you can see what we were talking about. Then I have a D chart, which is a 30-minute chart. Then I have an E chart, which Tuesday through Friday is a daily chart, and on Monday it's a weekly chart. So you have the biggest picture in front of you. Okay? Well, look at this. The market is in an uptrend. Look at this. See the oscillator? Look at this. What the heck do you think you're doing here? Boy, look at it, and I start trending, and after a while I can start seeing the trend. And I'm starting to go up the page, and I got 44, 44, 44, 44, blowout. Hey, big trend. Jam, power. Look at this shallow. Look at this shallow move down. What should we do from here, sports fans? We should blow out the high. Blow it out. Power. Look what the oscillator's telling me when I'm at the high. It's 62, leading D. Look at that. Boom, right down the page. And then every rally. Look at the weakness then. It tells you every rally. Sell it. Love it. That's what it's all about. Come on. The market is driving the whole day, gets to a high, pulls back shallow, and it tells you the exact point it stops. When you have an oscillator, that's why I'm going to pay someone $10 grand. If you have something that's better than what I put together, guys, the check is in the mail to you. Because let me tell you something. I'm going to die in front of the machine, and my doctor tells me 94. So, man, I want to get good. I want to leave a legacy. I want to be the famous mentor in the world. Okay? Because I retired, and I'm coming back with a vengeance.